Hey guys, Melissa here. I wanted to show you today how I'm going to make the whole grain flatbread pizza that my family and I like to enjoy. I just got home from work, so I am going to apologize in advance for any little noises that you might hear. My kids are on the couch right now watching cartoons. But anyways, so the first thing you want to do is preheat the oven to 450 degrees. But before we do that, we're actually going to put the fat in the pan. So what this recipe uses in order for the flatbread not to stick to the pan is 4 tablespoons of coconut oil. The recipe actually calls for olive oil, but heating up olive oil makes it rancid and it's harder for your body to process. So I choose to use coconut oil in the recipe, but you could use whatever other high heat oil that you choose. So I just have organic, virgin, unrefined coconut oil here. So I put 4 tablespoons in there. I'm going to preheat the oven. I'm going to let the coconut oil melt. Okay, so while the oven is preheating, I'm going to make the dough. And the dough you can actually make and sit 8 hours in advance. So sometimes if I have enough time in the morning, I'll make it in the morning really quickly and then just leave it sit all day. There's only very, very few ingredients. There's actually 3 ingredients in the flatbread dough. So it's super easy. It's going to be whole wheat flour, salt, and water, and that's it. Okay, so you're actually going to use just 1 cup of whole wheat flour. So I have my cup measure here. I'm just going to measure out a cup of whole wheat flour. Okay, so I have 1 cup of the whole wheat flour here. I'm just going to dump it into my mixing bowl. And then in addition to that, you're going to put in 1 teaspoon of salt. So my salt well here, I'm just going to dump in a teaspoon of salt. And then the last thing that we're going to put in is 1.5 cups of water. So I'm just going to measure 1.5 cups of water in here. And you're supposed to use room temperature water. So I just use tap water because it's going to be heated up. So I don't use purified water. Then what you're going to do is you're just going to mix it all together. So just pour the water in and mix everything together. That is it. So it kind of looks like a thick pancake batter. Not even really thick. It looks like a regular pancake batter. But what you can do, if you decide to do this, in the morning, if you have time before work, what you want to do is just cover it up with a towel. Because I'm going to be using it relatively quickly, I'm just going to leave it uncovered. So while we're letting the coconut oil melt in the oven, I'm going to chop up half an onion. So the half an onion just kind of goes in the bottom of the pan once the coconut oil is melted. So I'm just going to chop up the onion really quickly. And then I'm just going to add it to the hot pan. So what I like to do is just make really thin slices so that there's not like a big chunk of onion when you bite into the pizza. But the onion kind of forms a little bit of a crust on the bottom, and also adds a little bit of flavor. So obviously you can omit this ingredient if you like, or rather if you don't like onion. But I find that it gives it a nice flavor. You could also add some fresh herbs in the bottom too, if that's something that you like on your flatbread. Sometimes if I'm making like a tomato basil mozzarella pizza, I'll put some rosemary in the bottom with the onion just to give it like another dimension of flavor. But you could just do whatever you like. So I'm going to grab the coconut oil. Hopefully it's melted by now. I'm going to grab it out of the oven. Okay, so the coconut oil has melted in the oven. I'm just going to add the onion to it. Just kind of sprinkle it around in the pan. Spread it apart. Make sure that you get it all over the place. And then I'm gonna put the pan back in the oven just for a few minutes to get the onion a little bit cooked. You can smell when it's done and it'll start sizzling a little bit, so you can kind of hear it too. So we'll put the pan back in the oven just really quickly. Okay, so I'm going to pull the onions and the pan out of the oven because I'm starting to really smell them. And then I'm going to give them a quick shake to even things out. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the dough that's been, or the pancake batter, whatever, flatbread batter that's been sitting here, and I'm just going to kind of evenly pour it around the pan. Just going to kind of give it a little zhuzh around the pan so that it spreads it out. And that's it. So you're just going to put it in the oven now for about 30 to 40 minutes until you notice it, looking kind of hard on top. You can give it a quick tap and it should be really crunchy. And that's it. And then you can top it with your favorite toppings. We're gonna just put some fresh basil and mozzarella and tomatoes on top tonight, and then just put it back in the oven for like 10 minutes until it gets brown and crusty on the top, and then you have your pizza. So I just wanna kind of show you guys what it looks like when it comes out of the oven. This is what it looks like when it's all done. It's totally flat, it doesn't rise or anything. But what you wanna do when it comes out of the oven is to, release it onto another pan so that you can cut it and serve it. So what I like to do is just kind of go around the edge of the pan and see, it does actually release pretty easy. So you just want to kind of go around it and lift it up. And then what you want to do is just simply slide it out onto your plate. And then get your trusty pizza cutter and cut it into slices. So hopefully this was helpful to you guys, and hopefully you will enjoy your whole wheat flatbread pizza. All right, thanks for watching.